kind of team that nobody wants to play. And that means that we have to impose our will to dominate the competition all the time.
It's all about what does it take to break you.
Yo, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to Nick Saban Junior Sports Talk TV. Thank y'all for tuning in. And today I'm here with another preview prediction video. Right now I'm on by myself, but I have my man TriStar, the most beloved TriStar, the Tennessee dude with all the Tennessee man with all the Tennessee information. And he gonna break it down for us today. But before we get started, man, this one of them games coming in. Hey, I like this game. 2:30 Central Time, 3:30 Eastern Standard Time game. They played in Needham Stadium, Texas A&M versus Tennessee. I think A&M is 4-2 right now, and I think Texas is 4-1 maybe, 4-1 maybe, and this game, I feel like it's going to be a hard-fought game. And this game right here, the matchups in this game, I like it. I like the matchups in this game. You got Joe Milton versus the pass rush from Texas A&M. And as we all know, that pass rush from Texas A&M is lethal. How can Joe Milton handle this pass rush? How can he handle this pass rush? Remain to be seen. Don't know. But I think Joe Milton, he going to have to get the ball out quick. He's going to have to get the ball out quick. Basically, see what's going on fast. And when you see what's going on fast, see where the pressure comes from, and you come with the solution. You solve the problem and have a solution for it. So I think a lot of the quick game, Tennessee likes to run the quick game a lot. I think a lot of the quick game become a big factor in this thing. I think it'll become a big factor in this game. My point. That's what I think. The big factor can help Tennessee out a lot. But it's one of those things. Tennessee front seven is nice. They fly over the ball. They get to the quarterback really fast. So can Tennessee offensive line be able to hold long enough for Joe Milton and be able to get off what he needs to get off? Because the defensive line of Texas A&M is really good, and the linebacker core for Texas A&M really good. And you have to give Milton a little bit of time. And I'm telling you, even if Tennessee's offensive line plays a good game, listen, this defensive line, the front seven, they're going to cause havoc still. So even the good game by Tennessee, Texas A&M is going to be able to get to the quarterback. But another matchup is wide receivers, A&M wide receivers versus Texas DBs. Tennessee DBs, my bad. It's one of those things. They got a nice wide receiver room. Moose Muhammad, Nia Smith, Evan Stewart. So many dudes in that room. And it becomes one of those things. If you're a defense, how do you control this? Because it's one of those things when you have so many weapons on one side of the ball, how do you control this? How can you slow down this wide receiver room? One of those things that Tennessee is going to have to pick their poison. And I would say the best way to slow them down, find your way to eliminate Evan Stewart. And with Moose Muhammad and Nia Smith and the other guys, you're just going to have to trust your DBs in a one-on-one situation for majority of the time. But what I would do, I will eliminate Evan Stewart for the majority. I will eliminate Evan Stewart for the majority. And trust my DBs in one-on-one situations with the other guys. Now, let's swim it around. Tennessee, wide receivers versus their DBs. Got square right. Those guys in that wide receiver room. What is it, Ramel Keaton? That's a solid wide receiver room. Now, most people want to say You need to run the ball to pass the ball. But with these two teams, I don't think there's going to be much running game. Well, put it this way. I don't know for a simple fact, could either team run the ball on each other? I don't know, could either team run the ball on each other? Because that's how strong Tennessee defensive front too. Tennessee, I think for like 10% of the times, they get to the quarterback. For A&M, it's 15% of the time that they get to the quarterback. It's sacking the quarterback, not just affecting the quarterback, it's sacking the quarterback. So for Tennessee, I think the best way to go about it is Joe Milton, Square Wright, or Mel Keaton, and y'all guys. I say go for it early. Go for the big play early. Because Texas A&M, their deep ball threat, their secondary is bad. It's low. They're bottom of the barrel when it comes to passes 25 yards or more. You seen in the second half with Alabama. That's how we attack them with Jalen Milroe. With Jalen Milroe, we attack Texas A&M in the second half with passing. Jalen Milroe beat Texas A&M by passing. And I know Joe Milton can be capable of doing the same thing. So I would say for Texas A&M, for Tennessee, go for the head buster quick. Pass the ball to open up the run. Pass the ball to open up the run. But Tennessee, you're going to have to get the ball out quick. It's one of these games, in my opinion. Is real close. Like I say, Tennessee can get to Max Johnson. It's going to be another long game. Another long day. Eliminate Everett Stewart. Make Tennessee defensive line, front seven. Y'all get to Max Johnson. Make him make irrational decisions. Make him hurry up on the throw. Don't let him get up, stand on his spot, and make the throw. He is liable. Do not let him extend plays with his legs. He is liable. If you let him get into the rhythm and get in early third down situations, early second down situations, it can be complicated. But Tennessee can get after the quarterback as well. And I will say Tennessee, if you get after the quarterback, I think this is a game that y'all like. Going down to Neyland Stadium, that's a hard environment to play in. It's going to be a loud environment to play in. But this game means a lot. I know for Jimbo Fisher, because after this game against Alabama, you already had some of the fans talking about Jimbo. Fire Jimbo. And shout out to my man, Jay Pops. Jay Pops broke down several reasons why he shouldn't be fired. And I agree. The game against Alabama should not be a game for what you call it for Jimbo head. Texas A&M played a heck of a game. They played a heck of a game. They played a heck of a team. And the same is for this week. So Jimbo, I would say it's going to be important for you to win this game. It's going to be very important for you to win this game. Because I wouldn't say call for your job, but the seats start warming up now. The talks of you losing your job gets a little bit louder now. Even that you're going to Neyland Stadium, you know how college football is. College football, very impatient. They want to see something happen now. Y'all came last year. Y'all came, got the big win against Alabama in Neyland Stadium. Not Neyland Stadium, but y'all, my bad, I'm talking about Tennessee right now. But you lost the game against Miami is what I meant to say. Most people expect y'all to beat Miami. Most people had y'all to beat Alabama. So Jimbo Fisher, this game is critical because now if you don't beat Tennessee, the talks get a little bit louder about your job. It's one of the games, to me, it's hard to pick. It's very hard to pick. Like I said, I don't think it's gonna be much running. It can be. You know how football goes, anything happens. But I don't see big explosive plays in the run game from either team. Both of those defensive linemen are stout. Both defenses are nice. Both have nice wide receiver room. This can be a game that is going to be really good on Saturday. And I got to say, Texas A&M going down to Neyland Stadium, I think they got something to prove. After coming off a loss to Alabama. But I think this is going to be a real close game. I think the line on this is 3.5. I think this is going to be a real close game. Who do I have to win this game? It's hard to get over the loss from Florida, Tennessee. It's hard to overlook that. Florida came and dominated in the trenches. I think this game is going to be won in the trenches. Florida came and dominated in the trenches. Texas A&M has a nasty trench play. After the Alabama game, man, those dudes was in tears over there coming out the trenches. That was in tears. I think it's going to be real close. But this game will be won in the trenches. And right now, I'm leaning towards Texas A&M. But god dang it, it's hard to count out Joe Milton, Tennessee Volunteers, and Neyland Stadium. So I know day by day for me, this game is going to change. My picks are going to change. But right now, I'm leaning Texas A&M. And I feel like it's going to be a close one. But it's hard to count out Tennessee and Neyland Stadium. Hard to count out. Let me know in the comments what y'all feel about this game. Texas A&M going down to Tennessee and Neyland Stadium. As I sit here and wait on TriStar. I'm waiting on TriStar. Like I say, it's hard for me it's hard. This game is gonna be a good one. One in the trenches. And like I said, right now, I'm leading A&M based off of anger from last game. I seen the look in them guys' faces. It's gonna be a hard fought game. And I don't put this game past any one of these dudes at all. Don't put it past any one of these games at all. But let me know in the comments what else game that y'all are excited to see. I'm excited to see the Washington-Oregon game. I'm excited to see that one. Very excited to see that one. Don't know who comes out on top, but I got Washington. I'm picking Washington. I think Oregon has a better defense, though. But I'm still going with Washington. And then Alabama, Arkansas. You know I'm going to Alabama. There's games out there. Auburn, LSU. What Auburn do we get? Auburn has a good defense. Can they slow down Jaden Daniels and the LSU high-power LSU offense? No, they slowed down Georgia offense. They played well against Georgia. Can that defense come out with the same intensity? Can Auburn get a little bit more out of their offense from Robbie Ashford and Payne Thorne? Don't know. Not banking on it. I think LSU will wash these boys. I think LSU washes these boys big time. So I'm excited to see a lot of football this week. TriStar, where you at, big baby? Where you at, big dog? Where you at? Want to hear your thoughts on this game. So I'm in the process of trying to set some stuff up. Process trying to set some stuff up. Don't know if it'll go through or what, but I'm trying to set some stuff up for the do some shows on this channel. And I think it'll be interesting. I think everybody will like it. But TriStar, where you at, baby? TriStar, where you at? Talking some Tennessee and Texas A&M. Who wins it in the trenches? Who wins it in the trenches? Who wins it in the trenches? Like I said, both teams are really good in the trenches. Both teams are really good in the trenches. Gonna be trench play. Both teams are really good at the wide receiver position. Both teams are okay in the quarterback position. I think Joe Milton is a little better than Max Johnson, but I know Max Johnson is given time, he can hit those wide receivers, and they can be a game changer. They can be a game changer. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm leaning Tennessee. But it's hard to count out A&M in this game. Hard to count them out. Sit and wait for TriStar. Let me know what y'all think in the comments about this game. Drop score predictions. Let me know score predictions. I want to know it all. How do y'all feel about Carson Beck right now? Do you think Carson Beck has found his groove? Do you think Tennessee will be able to challenge Georgia in Needham Stadium? Was last week a fluke or not for Carson Beck? I think he might have found his groove. Me honestly, I think he might have found his groove. But let's see. See if I can send him a text. I might black out for a little bit, y'all. Nah, I'm not. I'm gonna wait till he come in. So, tell me what y'all think about this Alabama-Tennessee game this year. I can't wait. Think it's gonna be one heck of a rematch. A game that us Alabama fans, been waiting on for a long time. We've been waiting on it for a long time, and I can't wait. I think we're gonna get the rematch we want. I think this is the rematch that us Alabama fans want. Don't think it's gonna be nowhere near the same game as last year. Our defense is a whole lot better this year. Joe Milton is not hitting the hooker. What the dude name is that was killing us last year? Hyatt. They don't have Hyatt this year. I just think all around our defense is better. Let's see what Jalen Miro does this week. Does he improve? Does the game plan that we come up with for Saturday against Arkansas, do we execute it? Think we do. Think this team is getting a lot better. I think we're ready, baby. I'm sorry, guys. I blocked out real quick. Maryland game ticked me off a whole lot. I will say that. I was expecting Maryland to play better. But I guess that was Maryland in the end. And Maryland ended up Coach Loxley, you know you're welcome back to be Alabama offensive coordinator any given day, right? You know you're welcome back anytime you want. Just to put that out there. Just to put that out there. Trustar, where you at? Where you at? Where you at? Want to get your thoughts on this game, big dog? Want to get your thoughts on this game? Blacked out again. I'm sorry. Uh, it's crazy. Football is almost gone already. So fast. So fast. So fast. So fast. Mm-mm-mm-mm-mm-mm. I wonder something because nobody's here. Waiting on Trustar. Waiting on Trustar. Whew. Let's get it. Let's get it. Tennessee fans, where y'all at, baby? I know y'all excited about this game as well. Know y'all excited about this game. Oh, okay. Here everybody go right now. Texas A&M have to play defense. Kentucky, oh, boo, boo.
Sorry, sorry it took a minute. It sucked when you get behind an old man and it takes him 20. Because see, I was trying to get my laundry and stuff, pull up to the fuel pump, go in there and get it real quick, but it took him 30 minutes to fuel because he's an old man. He probably don't need to be driving anymore. But that's not the point. How you doing tonight? Sorry it took a minute.
Oh, that's all right, man. I got. Hey, man, it's so funny. It seemed like when you came in, like 11 people came in the chat because I don't know if that was in there or not, or it just popped up later on my end, but everything just popped up. But I gave my little preview prediction thing before you came on, and
Yeah.
I look at this game as matchups. It's matchups in this thing, and it's some good matchups. I looked at both of y'all running backs position versus both of y'all defenses.
Both well,
I don't know if either team will really run on each other. It's remains to be seen.
well, here's my thing when it comes to this game. So, if you look on paper, both are just about identical in terms of their stats and all this stuff. I would argue that maybe Tennessee's better at running the ball right now, and A&M's better at throwing. But at the same time, though, you have to take it with a grain of salt. Who both teams have been playing. Who A&M's played, because honestly, they didn't pass the ball that great on Alabama. But generally, though, they are a very talented team. It's just, like I said, coming into this year, I just don't trust them because of the simple fact I don't trust Jimbo. I don't trust what he's doing. I know everybody hyped up bringing in Bobby Petrino, but as I said this offseason, you've heard me say it, I don't think that's going to really matter. But this right here, being in Neyland, I'm giving the edge to Tennessee simply based on the fact it's a home game.
Okay. And see, this guy, it's so hard for me, man. I looked at this thing. I'm leaning A&M just because I'm thinking they're going to pay off for anger. But I heard, like, with me saying A&M, it's still one of those things that I'm like, I'm scared about the pick. Like, it's crazy because I really
It's one of those, you could understand why you would pick that team.
Yeah. But at the same time, you know, I feel like Tennessee go for the juggler real quick. Beat them downfield because A&M downfield, they
It's not
pass cover
good.
sucks.
I mean,
Yes.
they allowed Isaiah Bond and Jermaine Burton, of all people, to have career days. I mean,
Hey, don't
I
do us
would.
like that.
Oh, come on. They hadn't done anything literally up until this past Saturday. But anyways, and we'll get to that next week. But you know, here's my thing when it comes to A&M. They have a lot of talent on that front seven, just like Tennessee does.
Exactly.
But just like Tennessee, secondary is kind of suspect. I would argue Tennessee's secondary has actually been playing better because I think if you go look at the passing yards given up stats, Tennessee has allowed less. But at the same time, you know, we played a easier schedule than them, so you know, we take it with a grain of salt. But I think both teams are pretty even just about every stat. I think Tennessee's better off the edge slightly, and I think A&M is a little better with the interior defensive linemen.
Okay.
I think Tennessee's got the edge at linebacker. Wide receivers, right now, I'd have to give A&M the edge on wide receivers. Quarterback, that's kind of even. I mean, because here's the thing, you know, if you go back and look at the UTSA game for Tennessee, that first half, Joe Milton, I think, was like 14 of 16, something like that, just something ridiculous. And he even had like an 80-yard touchdown run. Like, he was playing his ass off. But what ends up happening is that with about a minute and a half, 2 minutes left in the first half, in the second quarter, he got hit kind of low and he sprained his MCL. So when he came out in the second half, he didn't look right. You know, he was a lot of underthrows. And he still was suffering the effects of that last game against South Carolina. Reports I've heard from people up there is that his knee is a lot better now. And he has said numerous times that with Cooper being back, he feels so much more comfortable in that pocket.
Okay.
And that's why I think that the offense has not been up to it yet, is we were missing 2 starting offensive linemen, and we were already breaking in 3 guys this year. So, yeah, I mean, you got that. And, of course, all the people after the Florida game was saying put Nico in there. And, of course, you heard what I said, yeah, and getting killed. I mean,
yeah, exactly.
And ruin his confidence. He's a precious commodity. You want to save that.
I agree.
I don't know what happened.
Oh, no.
Maybe he got a phone call. I don't know. Anyway,
yeah, go ahead.
Anyways, I think Tennessee win. My prediction will be, I say Tennessee wins 31-21.
Ooh. Wow.
And the reason I say that, because here's a little stat for you. Josh Heupel is 7-1 coming off a bye week. He does not lose off a bye week. And the only time he did was when he was at UCF, I think his first season. And usually when he wins on bye weeks, it's usually by multiple possessions.
Wow.
And you think Texas A&M just played an outright slugfest against Alabama.
Yeah.
So you play that, and now you have to go on the road to arguably the toughest road environment in the SEC. And they're doing Checker Neyland and all that stuff, and that crowd's going to be into it. Like, I just think that A&M's going to have a hard time communicating on offense. And I think their defense will keep them in it for about the first half. But like what happened against Alabama, I think they just get gassed. Because, they're big and they're imposing, but their conditioning is not good.
And so when I did my part before you came on, that's one of the facts I brought up, that y'all got that quick game. Y'all run that quick game really
Yep.
well.
We run the no huddle, quick tempo.
And that's going to ease a lot of that pressure up. That's going to wear that front seven down. Like, Texas A&M ain't seen no quick game like Tennessee has right now.
Yep.
Sam, what's going on?
And see, here's what I know everybody's going to keep bringing up the Florida game. Well, I can tell you exactly.
That was part of my thing too. It's hard to look past that.
It is, but I don't think you're going to see that kind of performance out of Tennessee this year again. I think that game. Is it weird to say that had to happen?
Yeah.
To get them to focus, like, you know how, like when Alabama back in the earlier half of Saban's tenure, like they would lose a game and all of a sudden like that just snap something in them. And then all of a sudden it was like, oh shit, now they're playing even better.
Yeah.
And one thing I noticed, I was scared going in that South Carolina game. Because I know everybody talks about how bad South Carolina is. Like, dude, they were ahead 14-3 at Georgia. Spencer Rattler was dropping dimes and shredding their defense. And they still have a really good defense.
Yeah.
And I was thinking, oh shit, here we go. But that crowd was hot. He couldn't communicate. He got pressured. And, I mean, he got sacked like 6 times. I mean, so that's what I'm saying. If Texas A&M wants to win this game, they got to strike, and they got to strike quick.
Yeah.
Because you got to get that crowd out of the game.
Yeah.
If that crowd's in it, you're not winning it. As simple as that. To me, I think now with the offensive line being fully healthy, and if the reports I'm hearing at Knoxville are true, and it's from people I trust, that Milton's knee is feeling a lot better now that he's had that week off.
Mm-hmm.
And now we're getting guys like Dante Thornton and a huge guy we're getting back, Elijah Simmons, in the interior. He's been kind of a miss. We've missed him. He's coming back. And, like, I feel like they're going, that South Carolina game, I think, was their first, that's kind of like their little coming out game.
Yeah.
And think about this. What does that say about Tennessee if they do beat A&M by 2 touchdowns or something? What does that say about Tennessee?
You tell me what to say, because in my opinion, it's just kind of exposing A&M a little bit more. What do you think to say?
Well, to me, it depends on how they win. If say Tennessee has like 200 yards rushing, because I'm telling you,
Jabari Smiles is that guy though. I will say that he
not just him, not just him.
Yeah, the other guy too. Yeah,
Dylan Sampson, Jalen Wright. It's a 3-headed monster running back. And one thing I will argue, I know you might get mad at this, but I would argue right now Tennessee is a much better running team than Alabama is.
No,
Alabama,
I can't get mad at that.
Because if you look and think about this, that was with subpar offensive line play. And now your offensive line is now fully healthy, and they've had a week off, and you've got guys like Dylan Sampson saying, "Feed me the ball, I'm going to dash their ass." Dude, like I'm feeling pretty good about this A&M game, especially them having played Alabama and getting just the hell beat out of them on the offensive line. Like, I don't know how much time Max Johnson's going to have, but at the same time, I can say that, this is going to be a true test to see what my offensive line's made of.
Yeah, because honestly, man, like I said, I'm leaning A&M on this, but it's one of them games that, like, kind of both teams kind of mirror each other. Defensive front seven is on both sides are freaking good. I think A&M gets to the quarterback like 15% of the time. I mean,
Tennessee gets to it like 12. So I mean,
it's close. Exactly.
You're kind of drawing straws at that point.
Exactly.
And honestly, the only reason that went down for Tennessee is because they played bad against Florida, which Florida got up for that game.
When I checked, it was 10, but it's still in the same range, bro. that's the
I mean,
same way.
what's Alabama's pressure rate right now? It's probably up there too.
Yeah, I gotta look into it.
Because I mean, my God, Dallas Turner and Chris Braswell, they're playing their ass off right now.
Yeah.
And that's what I'm saying. Like, you know, I hate salivating over that third Saturday in October, but that feels like. Do you remember the 2005 game where it was like 6-3?
Yes, sir.
That it feels like it might be something like that. And I told everybody, I know it's kind of jumping ahead to next week, but here's my little prediction on that Tennessee Alabama game: the first team to get to 30 wins. If either team can even get to 30,
Get to 30. That's facts.
Like that game, that could be like a 17-14 kind of game or a 10-7. Like I think in that game, like I said, I hate jumping ahead, but it's glaring, staring me right in the face. That game shouts out defensive slugfest. And I'll argue this: Tennessee is better coming off the edge. If you don't believe me, go look at two guys, James Pierce and Tyler Barron. And not only that, you got guys like Joshua Joseph also coming off the edge too. Like, best way to describe it is Tyler Barron is sort of like a hybrid. He plays interior and he plays edge.
Gotcha.
But like, and he can do both. He's having a phenomenal year this year. Like, and coming in this year, we was like, is he going to do anything? Because he hadn't really done anything so far this year, and I'm happy to say that, you know, because he was like a borderline 5-star coming out of high school.
I just Stapleton say the energy for next week. Me and we trying to put together something good next week. I ain't gonna let y'all know.
I've not called him yet because, like I said, I've been kind of busy dealing with this stuff. Gotcha. But I'm going to, as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to call that guy. I won't say who it is yet for the people.
Yeah.
But,
I already talked to
KB.
My guy, and he said yes. He said he down. So when we get it set up, I'll let y'all know. Say that energy for next week, Jeff Stapleton.
Yes, save it for next week. We got 1 week. Y'all need to focus on Arkansas right now. Like, we need to focus on A&M. I mean, that's a big test. And think about this. We have arguably, possibly one of the more brutal 3-game stretches coming up. By the way, that's 3 in sign language. If you see me doing 3, and I'm just explaining why.
Yeah.
We have A&M at home, then at Alabama, and then at Kentucky. The only thing is, though, with Kentucky, again, they do this every year.
Yep,
they'll start out, 4-0, 5-0. Everybody's hyping them up like, oh, maybe they might give Georgia a run, or they might give Tennessee a run. No.
And that's what I say. I picked Kentucky on here, but when the camera went off,
I didn't. I took Georgia to cover.
But when the cameras went off, somebody asked me about it. You really think that? I said, I think Kentucky program is heading in the right direction. I said, but
they've been heading in the right direction for the last 10 years.
But it's Kentucky. It's still Kentucky. That's good for them.
Yeah.
I don't never expect Kentucky to be a playoff contender.
And the reason I say that, again, I hate jumping ahead to other games in Tennessee's future, but Kentucky is literally one guy, Ray Davis.
Yeah, Ray Davis.
They don't have a passing game. Devin Leary has disappointed me this year. I thought he was going to have a good year, and he has just been off target. I don't know if it's like the offensive scheme that don't fit him or what. I don't know. But, I mean, he was a really good quarterback at NC State. I don't know if it's a mental thing. I don't know. But I think that favors Tennessee very well. But the thing is, like I always say, and you've heard me say this, the Tennessee-Kentucky series, Tennessee has absolutely owned that series since Prohibition. I mean, we've dominated that series for decades. But the thing is that it kind of goes like this. We play them in Neyland, in Knoxville, we'll beat them by 40. Beat the hell out of them. But then the next year we go up to Lexington, and it's a one-possession game. and they always get up for Tennessee, no matter how bad they are. because that's like their Super Bowl. You know.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. By the way, we had a great Super Bowl parade. By the way, for you South Carolina people.
Hey, so I'm gonna ask you this: if Tennessee doesn't win this game, what does it mean for Josh Heupel and the Tennessee Volunteers?
I mean, it depends on how they lose. Like if it's a case of it's a hard fought and they make a last second field goal or something like that. Hey, it was a hard fought game. Regroup for the next week, because as you probably know, most reasonable Tennessee fans said 9-3, 10-2 probably.
Yeah,
because like we were not expecting to make the SEC championship this year. It was basically like it's going to be Georgia versus whoever.
Yeah,
and even if we lose, I'm still not counting us out of any of the rest of our games. I think this is one. I think what this is showing with what Heupel's doing right now, if he can get through these games, and Milton he's not Hendon Hooker. He's not a Hendon Hooker or Bryce Young where he can just put a team on his back and carry him to a win. He's not that guy, and Milroe's not either. But what I think is that if he does have another 10-win season or 11-win season, like say they went out and beat Georgia and go to the SEC championship, what that says about Heupel is he can win with a hero quarterback, or he can win by having a great defense and just having a good run game and relying on that. Like he don't have to have, a top tier quarterback to win.
Yeah. Ken, what's up, man? Appreciate you for tuning in, man.
Tennessee is not going to lose to A&M. I agree. Like I said, I'm taking Tennessee not only to win, I take them to cover. Which again, the spread's only I think Tennessee -2 and a hook.
Yeah,
so
I heard 3.5 or something like that.
Okay, well maybe people were betting up Tennessee. I don't know.
Yeah.
Last I heard, it was like 2.5 on one betting site, but basically like a field goal spread. That's basically saying, we're leaning Tennessee because of the home field. Like if that game was at Kyle Field, A&M would be favored.
Yeah.
If it was a neutral site game, that'd probably be a pick 'em.
But this one of the things. So I asked you that question about Tennessee. What do you think it means for Texas A&M if they lose? Because I think a lot of
I'm talking about Ken down there. I don't have Bader-Vol syndrome. That shit went away with the Alabama game last year. Don't wish.
Hey man, I be real reasonable. I ask legit questions. I don't be on that troll stuff, man.
Yeah, like I don't come out here and troll or none of that. Like I actually have legit. Now, if you want to hear me troll, come to my Twitter Spaces and you can hear me troll all day.
Hey, so what do you mean? What do you think it means for Texas A&M? Because that was mad last week. The fans were mad about Jimbo last week, and I don't think last week was the game to be calling for Jimbo's name.
The only I know where you're going with this. The only way I see Jimbo getting fired is if he just loses out. Because you got to think that's a fat ass buyout.
Yeah.
And to me, they would have to have another 5-7 season.
Yeah, facts.
And right now, I don't see that. I think they could at least go 7-5 at least, unless they just absolutely just shit the bed. I mean, with all that talent they have, I mean, if they have another season where they just...
I'm with you on that. Unless he just go freaking crazy and lose crazy after this. But
unless they just collapse. I mean, because if you think about the 2 games you lost, you went on the road to Miami. Now, that we don't know about Miami.
Yeah, that Miami game is starting to look a little bad.
Well, here's the thing about that. I'll say this, differentiating off the game we're covering. Mario Cristobal might be the biggest dumbass I've ever seen in terms of managing a game.
Facts.
First, for people that don't know it, didn't watch the game. It was first down. They were ahead 23-20. It was a close game all game against Georgia Tech, former SEC member. They had the ball on first down with 50 seconds, a minute left.
Yeah.
So basically it says, and keep in mind, Georgia Tech had 0 timeouts. They had no timeouts left. So all Miami has to do is take 2 knees and they're out there with a win. If you go back and watch a lot of these games under Mario Cristobal where they win the game and say the game's locked away, he does not take knees for some weird reason.
He said Miami has a good team, just stupid coaching.
I agree.
Fact.
Listen, Mario Cristobal is a phenomenal recruiter. He is.
Yeah, he is. He do that. He do that well.
But he can't manage a game to save his life. That was one of the most bonehead things I have ever seen. Now, if say Georgia Tech had 2 timeouts, 3 timeouts, okay, that's different. But they had no timeouts. It's literally you take 2 knees, game over.
Over with. Done.
And apparently I heard something about their running back had 98 yards and he wanted to get him to 100.
That's
and
dumb. That's stupid.
I'm like, who cares? All that matters is the W. You're undefeated right now with a chance possibly at playing for an ACC championship, which, by the way, you've never won.
Nope. That was dumb. Better coaching.
Mario is one of those coaches that's better suited as a coordinator. I agree. I would take him as an offensive line coach right now.
Damn right I will.
Another guy, speaking of the team you're playing this year, is it safe to say now Sam Pittman's a dead man walking at Arkansas?
Yeah. It really feels like it. It really feels like it, man.
And listen, I love Sam Pittman as a human being. He good, he's the kind of guy you could go to a bar and have a beer with. He's just that kind of guy. And I've said this: if Josh Heupel has any common sense, if you know he's about to get fired, I'm blowing his damn phone up saying, "Hey, you want to come be the offensive line coach?
Come coach it now."
Like that.
Listen. I would let go of Eric Wolford.
And I give him a blank check and say, "What do you want?" He was at Tennessee back in I think 2012, 2011. Okay. And if you remember, that's when we had James Stone, Jawan James, and a really stout offensive line. Well, guess who built that offensive line? Sam Pittman did.
Pittman.
But he left. I think he went somewhere, he went to Georgia. He was at Georgia for a little while too, and he had their offensive line on point. He's a phenomenal offensive line coach.
He is.
And that's the thing. I hope Tennessee goes after him because our current offensive line coach, I'm not happy with him because of the fact of it. Cooper going down should not, just debilitate our offense like it has. To me, that said, we need to make a change at offensive line coach because the fact that you didn't have another guy ready to play center.
Yeah.
And I would argue possibly the most vital position on the offense besides quarterback.
Yeah, true.
Because
that's 100% fact.
Because here's the thing. If your center is the one calling out the blocks, he's the one seeing what the defensive line's lining up to do. Exactly. He sees all that.
Exactly.
And think about this. When we were down at Florida, I love Ollie Lane as a person, but he's not an SEC offensive lineman. Let's just be honest. He's not. And that's nothing against him. He's just not an SEC caliber guy. He's a local guy. Now I'll say he fits better at more of a guard position because that's one of those positions you can just be a big guy and push. You don't have to worry about
that outside. You ain't gotta worry about your footwork as much.
Yeah, so that nothing against you guards out there, but basically it's just stand there and do this.
Yeah, facts.
Because he's not big enough to be a tackle. Like being a tackle, you got to be a mean son of a bitch. But besides the point, but yeah, like I said, going back to the A&M Tennessee game, I think, like I said, I had Tennessee winning like 31-21. I think because of the home environment, I think A&M's going to have trouble moving the ball on our defense.
Yeah.
And you can kind of say the same thing, but I feel like we can scheme stuff up. And one thing I noticed with Texas A&M, they're great up the middle, but on the edge, they're kind of suspect. So I think Tennessee could just go out there and dink and dunk it to death.
Yeah.
Like, go out there and just throw quick screen passes because they're not good with their corners.
I can't ask in the comments. He said in the comments, Tennessee needs to make a change at offensive coordinator. What do you feel about that?
No. It's Heupel's offense. Oh, when we lost Galesh. Oh, okay. So he's got Tennessee winning 31-17. I mean, that's possible.
Yeah.
Like I said, this is where we're going to see what Tennessee's offensive line's made of. If they hold up and they give Milton time,
I'm gonna say this. I'm gonna ask you this.
okay?
A&M is going to get. I expect them to get sacks. Is what I'm
Oh
gonna
yeah,
say.
I expect them at least to have a few. Like
So-
they're going to get back there.
How many sacks do y'all need to hold Texas A&M? Well, I mean, do y'all need to? You know what I'm trying to say, right?
I'll say under 5.
Under 5, okay.
And you can say the same thing about A&M.
Okay.
They need to keep it under 5. Because if he gets hit 7, 8, 9 times and he's just getting his ass handed to him for either quarterback, it's going to be a long night.
Yeah, it's hard. It's hard.
Because with Joe Milton, he's got a weird thing where if he gets off his game mentally, like something happens, somebody gets injured, like he lets it get to him.
Yeah.
And it throws him off his game. Yeah. And I'll say this too, as an Alabama fan, for y'all, and knowing that y'all play Tennessee the very next week. Now it's at home, it's at Bryant-Denny. And I know it's going to be a hot environment down there. 3:30 CBS, big rivalry game, tons of history. What would Alabama fans be thinking, realistically, not trolling, realistically, if they see Tennessee is able to hold back that defensive front from A&M, and say Milton only gets sacked like once or no sacks?
Honestly, for me, it'll be, yes, it's something nice to look at, but I know each game is different. Y'all might come out and play that type of game against them, but it still might be a different
Then play
game.
bad against Alabama.
Yeah, I mean,
and
that's how I know the football games go. I just
because what this year has proven.
Yeah.
What this year has proven is that it's literally every given Saturday. It's all about matchups. I mean, people talk about transitive properties, and I've already got Georgia fans tell me, oh, yeah, look what we did at Kentucky. We're going to beat the shit out of it.
Yes.
I'm like, okay, well, number one, y'all were coming off a bad game.
Yep.
And you played with your hair on fire, because I know how Kirby Smart is. He's a master motivator, and he lit a fire under y'all. And number two, it was a home game. You weren't on the road. And I mean, like, for example, would you say Texas A&M is a better team than Georgia?
It's matchups in that game that, yeah, I wouldn't know. But, but it's matchups in the game that wouldn't favor Georgia.
The reason I say that, because Auburn went to Texas A&M and got their dicks kicked in. Like, what was it, like 27-6? Like, they couldn't do nothing. They couldn't run the ball. They couldn't do anything. But then Georgia, the 2-time defending national champion, goes to Jordan-Hare Stadium, and that voodoo magic works down there.
And go ahead.
And they only win by a touchdown, and they were favored by 17.
Yes.
Which I said that going into that game. I said, I predict that Georgia wins, but Auburn covers because it's a home game, and it's a wounded animal mode thing. But again, is the Tennessee-Georgia going to be an absolute blowout? I don't think so.
I don't think so.
I think Tennessee's better on defense. I think because the problem is with Kentucky, like I said, they're extremely one-dimensional. All they can do is run the ball.
And I know we fast forwarding or whatever, but it's cool because we about done with the Tennessee and A&M game. So I agree because what you said, you think y'all defense is better, right?
Mm-hmm. And statistically, it is.
And listen, no, I'm with you on this because, okay, Carson Beck had a good game against Kentucky's offense. Georgia has not seen the defense like a Tennessee or Bama, because I got a call from a Georgia fan, of course, that he was like, we could have beat anybody in the country that day. I said, man, y'all did beat Kentucky.
Y'all played great. That's the best game they played all year.
The defense, I said, but okay, against Bama. I'm just saying, the defense that we brought to the game, he said, y'all only scoring 20-some points. I said, true, but also, how much are we giving up?
Yeah, and I think Beck this year,
not see the defense like a Tennessee or a Georgia. Or Alabama. He has not seen that high caliber defense yet.
And that's the thing. Like, I've been surprised by how good the defense has played.
That's what I know from the first game. I said, dang, they look complete as hell. Like, I know it was Virginia, but I was like, damn, this team look complete as hell.
They're getting after it.
Yeah.
Like I said, James Pierce, man, they came out, what was it, on 3, I think they came out like the top edge rushers in the country. Right now they have Chris Braswell and Dallas Turner, I think, like 1 and 4, like number 1 and number 4. But James Pierce is like number 6.
Yeah. Man, I seen something like
that. And Tyler Barron, I think he's like 12th.
Okay.
But he's not like a true edge guy. He's more of a high, like he moves.
Hybrid. Yeah.
But that, to me, that just shows the strength of our front seven. And that was with a guy we brought in to kind of be, that veteran piece. Keenan Peely, he's out for the year. He got hurt in the Virginia game. And that shows the linebackers have really stepped up. And they're, like I said, the 2 words I heard coming out of fall camp, my guy who's one of the main equipment managers up there, and of course, he sees a lot of inside shit. He sees like plays are drawn up, like he sees all kinds of stuff. And I asked him, going in before the Virginia game about position groups. I didn't say like specific players, but sometimes he would go off about certain players. And I asked him about the defense, and I said, what about the front 7, the linebackers and the line? He said 2 words, fucking nasty. He said it looks like back when they had guys like Albert Haynesworth, Al Wilson, Leonard Little, guys like that. I was like, oh shit.
That dude was a dude, but he was lazy as hell in the NFL, boy.
Yeah, Albert Haynesworth. Well, yeah, he's also batshit crazy.
Yeah,
legitimately. But anyways, though, yeah, like I said, Tennessee, Texas A&M, I think it's going to be a really good game. I'm going Tennessee. Of course, I'm a Tennessee fan, but I'm simply on the fact of it's at Neyland, and how tough of a fucking road environment that is.
Yeah, facts.
I mean,
I'm leaning A&M, but it's also looking like shit. I really can't just say whatchamacallit neither.
Because you think, I know everybody talks about, oh, look at the gimmick. They're doing checker kneeling and all that stuff. Well, they only do it once a year. They're not doing it for the Georgia game. They did it. They're doing it for this. And like I said, it favors Tennessee in a lot of ways. Tennessee's coming off a bye week where they're going to get, now they're bringing guys back and they're going to be a lot healthier. And Texas A&M just got done playing an absolute slugfest against Alabama, where they, in that second half, they were just getting absolutely bullied. I mean, credit to y'all's offensive line. Y'all shut that defense down in the second half.
Hey,
credit to them.
And it was times too. Our offensive line, they gave Miro a lot of time to throw at times too, man.
They did, and hey, I'll give them credit on that. But I still think A&M's got a really good front. And
hell yeah. I came up with 6 sacks again. Like, damn, that's right.
I think. Like I said, I'm leaning Tennessee simply on the fact it's at home and Tennessee's coming off the bye week. And if you go look at the stats, Heupel has only lost one time in his whole coaching career off a bye week. And it was literally by 1 point.
Wow.
I think when he was at UCF, it was at Memphis or something like that. Yeah. And that was back when Memphis had Mike Norvell. So, I mean, yeah, they've only lost one. He's only lost once as a head coach coming off a bye week. He's historically really, really good.
Okay.
So, again, we'll find out. They settle on the field. And I think the narrative you're going to hear, if Tennessee does like I said, everybody's going to say, well, maybe Tennessee just played bad against Florida. Maybe they had some injuries. They just didn't play good. It was on the road, first road game. I mean, but the only thing is in the first half, the defense couldn't stop him. They got stops in the second half, but Florida was just too far ahead, and we couldn't really get back. And that's the thing, same thing with Georgia. First road game goes down to the wire. I mean, people might ask, well, do you think Georgia's a much better team than Auburn? Hell yeah, they are. It's not even a question.
Yeah, fact.
But I think what those two games has proven is that it's extremely tough to win on the road.
Yeah. I agree.
Let's see. I just hope Tennessee stays healthy. I don't want to hear any excuses after Bama's firing up the cigars roll, motherfucker. Well, we'll talk about that next week.
Yeah, we setting something up. We setting something up. When it's a lock, I'll let y'all know, man. When it's a lock, I'll let y'all know. If it's a lock, I'll let y'all know. But we setting something up. It's gonna be good.
Yeah, you just let me know what day you want to do it before I talk to the individual.
Okay.
You can just text me that later.
All right,
but anyways, though, another good video.
Yes, sir.
Appreciate you having me on. You always know I'm available. I mean, sometimes it might take me a minute because of my job. But
I was like, you a grown man. You got grown man stuff you got to take care of before we come out and play.
Right. Anyways, what's the spread on that Alabama-Arkansas game?
I'm not even sure yet.
Well, whatever it is, I'm taking Alabama to cover.
Yeah. I haven't seen enough. I'm in the process of watching Arkansas slowly but surely. I got it on pause right now, on DVR some of their games, and I just ain't seeing enough from Arkansas right now. But
I mean, they took LSU to the wire.
I know I was saying 19.5. Jeff Stapleton got. God dang.
Ooh,
you still got Alabama to cover?
Never mind on that. That's a little high.
Yeah,
I thought it was like minus 14 or something like that. Yeah, I would not take Tennessee. I mean, not Tennessee. I would not take Alabama to cover that.
As a Bama fan, that's high as hell. 20 points. God damn.
Yeah. But anyways, though, appreciate you having me on.
No problem, man.
And can't wait to do this next week.
Yes, sir. Roll Tide.
Anyways, y'all have a good one. Go Big Orange. And as always, fuck the Tater Man.
Hey, appreciate y'all for tuning in, man. All y'all hit the like button. Go over to Bam Damn Sports. I believe that should be on right by now. Bam Damn Sports. Go over there. I already know they about to put on a good show right now. So appreciate y'all for tuning in. Like and subscribe. Let me know in the comments what y'all got. We'll cover smart ass Joe Stapleton. I love your energy. Hey, if we get this thing go through next week, bro, I'ma love you in the chats next week, bro. I appreciate you for tuning in. To Dean Cloud, all y'all, everybody in the chat. Everybody in the chat. George, B Jamming, Ken, shout out to you, big homie. Michael Gordon Club. Yes, sir. Peanut Roll Time, all y'all. But y'all go over to Bam Down Sports and see what they got going on over there. I know everybody gonna be over there probably. So appreciate y'all for tuning in again. Roll Tide, salute, and I'm out, y'all.